18 people have been now confirmed dead after a plane crashed during takeoff in Kathmandu at around 11 a.m. local time. The pilot has been rescued and is undergoing treatment. To get us the latest, we are now being joined by our correspondent Saloni Murarka. She's joining us from Kathmandu. Saloni, there has been a change in the death count. We were earlier reporting 17 people dead. That count has now become 18. Get us the latest.
Yes, this has just been informed by the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, where they have announced that out of the 18 people on board, out of the 19 people on board, the 18 are confirmed dead and one has been taken to the hospital and has been critical. However, the update on him is yet to be out. This is the pilot that I'm talking about who really jumped out of the flight before it turned into flames. So authorities are saying that the flight was taking off the runway and immediately it skid off to the other runway and it just engulfed into flames. So as I speak, I'm at the domestic wing of the Kathmandu International Airport. Behind me, you see is the runways where the accident took place, and police officials from all across the Armed Police Force Nepal Army have been deployed here heavily. And Nepal Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli is also on the way. As we speak, he has just arrived and he'll be taking the stock of the situation here. I would like my viewers to see this. The Prime Minister has just arrived.
The Prime Minister has just arrived at the location. This is the Kathmandu airport where Saloni is positioned at the moment. There you see the convoy of the Prime Minister moving towards the runway where the accident has, of course, the crash has taken place. The death count now stands at 18 with only the pilot surviving. Of course, Saloni will be getting us the update on the pilot's health. Saloni, as of now, if you can tell us, like earlier, what we reported was 17 people dead and 2 who were rescued. Did the death which has now been added, now the count becomes 18. Did that death take place after the rescue? Was it on way to the hospital or did it happen during the crash?
It happened during the crash. Initially, they did think that the person that they were trying to retrieve from the burned ashes, that the person could survive, but there was no chances of him. And the Nepal Army, very initially, they said that it's very unlikely for any survivors to come out of this. But however, we see one survivor here, and however, the conditions remain very critical of the pilot, and we'll get the updates as soon as possible to you.
Saloni, also, the reasons and the conditions which led to the crash, if you can walk us through that once again, what led to the crash? There was a fire earlier and then the crash took place, if you can walk us through that.
Yes, of course, this is a very small aircraft. This is a domestic airline, Saurya Airlines. And as we know that all the 19 people were the assistant and the technical team of the airlines. So while they were taking off from the designated runway, it suddenly skid off to the other runway and it just turned into flames. And that's when the pilot actually jumped out of the plane and therefore he survived it. Like I said, the weather cannot be the reason for it. Of course, Nepal is witnessing the monsoon season, and even in Kathmandu, we have seen there's a heavy rainfall continuously every day. But however, in the morning, they were a little cloudy, but weather is definitely not the reason. And as we know that the flight literally crashed immediately after taking off. So definitely there's some technical problems in the flight, and which will be investigated. The Civil Aviation Authority have informed that.
Saloni, have you picked up any possible reasons? Like I know you've briefly just mentioned, weather has not played a role here. It has been raining nevertheless all through the day. Of course, it is the monsoon season in Nepal and as well. But any possible reasons which have led to this? Anything that you've picked up so far?
Definitely, it can be said that the point is that nothing can be certain right now. Multiple opinions have been coming out from the authorities, as all the focus is right now on just the research and rescue operation. There are no parts of the flight which can be literally segregated properly. It's been burned to ashes, and it's very unlikely that even that one passenger is alive. But of course, the investigation will go on, and the authorities will continue to inform us on the reason behind it. How the last crash that Nepal saw was last year in 2023. That was the very heavy crash that happened in 3 decades. So even that investigation is actually still underway. The certainties have not come out of it. So in this case, we really hope that maybe this time the Civil Aviation Authority will be able to investigate into it.
Saloni, also if you can just give us an understanding of where exactly you are stationed at the moment, where you're reporting from, and how far is that from the crash site?
Yes, I'm standing at the domestic wing of the Kathmandu airport, and if you would like to see, this is the domestic wing, and so this and the international wing is on the behind this building, and this is exactly where the passengers in and come out take place. The main gate area of the airport is right there, and this is the area where we can see the runways here, and we can even still spot the flights right on the runways here. This is the domestic wing of the Kathmandu airport.
Saloni, as of now, have all other operations at this terminal, have they been suspended at the moment? What are all other flights have been put on hold at the moment? How is it functioning?
Yes, we very rightly said. All the flights till 3 p.m. has been suspended, and we can see the families of the people who have died in the crash have already arrived here, and we can spot the family members here talking to the authorities. And there's a lot of chaos in the hospital, like all the passengers were on the way to their destination. I would like you to see this is the building where the people actually bought their flights from, and it's been full chaos because none of the flights have taken off since the crash. The crash took place just a little past 11 a.m. in the morning.
Saloni, any details on what aircraft this was? Because if we were to consider, or if you were to assume that this was a technical fault, which make was it, or which aircraft was it?
Yes, so this is the aircraft that is that majorly the Nepal uses domestically, the 9A aircraft. But like I said, let's just wait for these certain details out of it. But definitely, these are the small aircraft that Nepal usually and majorly operates domestically. And this is very similar to the aircraft. This aircraft is very similar to the one that crashed in Pokhara last year. I would like to mention that.
All right, Saloni, as you get us the latest, we'll let you go for now. And of course, we will be keeping in touch with you over the condition of the one lone survivor that we have at the moment. Here's hoping that he recovers and he can be, we can have one less casualty here. It's extremely unfortunate what has transpired there in Kathmandu at the moment. Thank you, Saloni. That was Saloni Murarka getting us the latest from Kathmandu.